Okay, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, what are your thoughts about the technology usage in the context of UAE and your company?
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Kelvin, for the good introduction. The UAE and the whole of the Gulf, the GCC, the 7 countries, the basic issue with the systems here is, we have got 3 basic issues. One is the soil, one is the temperature, and one is the water. So if you need to, come across and come over these 3 challenges, you need to have a system whereby, to fight the soil, you have soilless hydroponics. Okay. To fight the temperature, you have a climate controlled environment greenhouse, or you have an indoor vertical farm. And the water, of course, you need to have a desalination plant and all that. So these 3 are the main contributing factors for setting up indoor vertical farms or urban ag farms or hydroponic related farms here in the UAE and all the Middle East, and especially in the Gulf. See, they have learned it the hard way because of food security issues. 90% food is imported. Plus, especially during the COVID time, now all the cargo flights were not coming in, so we were not having local production. So, and apart from that, there is this sort of sudden, embargoes or some sort of things coming up from a political point of view. So, once we have sanctions against any of the countries here, then you have a problem with growing. So basically what hydroponics is doing here is we're trying to connect the ecosystems that are there in existence as of now. Doctor spoke to about smart cities. So you have a smart city, you have all the infrastructure for a smart city, you have a play area, you have a gym, you have everything, you have an entertainment channel, then you have houses, beautiful bungalows, and also you have a small hypermarket or a shop selling fruits and vegetables and groceries. So instead, why don't you have your own smart farm over there? You have a smart city. Why don't people think of a smart farm in that location? It could be on the rooftops, it could be on any place, depending upon the technology you are trying to implement. So the smart farm could also cater in such a way that you just try to understand the people living in that smart city. There are high-rise buildings of 10 to 15 towers and 1,000 families in each tower. So you just try to understand the lifestyle or the age or the ailments that these people are usually facing. There could be a data that can be collected, and that data could be implemented while cultivating your crops. See, if you have some data, then you could implement that in cultivating your crops. That could help in enabling increasing your immunity to that crop, to that disease. So you can have a connected ecosystem whereby water and energy and whatever is being put into the cultivation will give you good results and feed that population within that smart city. And thus, to do this, you need to have AI enabled, IoT enabled smart farming options. It will not be, just as a traditional hydroponic farm. Hydroponic farm also could be done, but hydroponics should be enhanced. It should be having IoT enabled or whatever functions that require for all the parameters of growth. It could be nutrition, it could be climate control, it could be even distribution, it could be fortification of the produce which is being grown. That has to be amalgamated between technology and the growing system. It could be hydroponics in this case. So that's where I would like to conclude my initial opening. So we could discuss further on that. Yeah, Kelvin.
Thanks, Bhaskar. Appreciate that insight. Okay. Now, what is the next big technology you'll see? Okay, I think that question is a very interesting question. In your understanding, okay, very quickly, we got about 10 minutes left. Quickly, what do you think is the next big technology breakthrough for hydroponics? Bhaskar Rao, any thought about the next big thing?
Yeah, sure. In one word, I could say big data. Okay. To put that in the perspective, I would like to go with Ralph. What he said, like you have cameras in all the farms. We are already doing that. We have it's like a centralized agronomy office whereby myself and my team sit, and we have farms all over the world, in India and also here in the UAE in different corners. So each and every greenhouse could be controlled from here, and the farm supervisor or whoever is there could show us if he is not able to understand what it is. He will be showing us live the thing, and then we recommend it not by traveling around. And this helped us a lot during this lockdown. And we are already doing it. We have implemented it. We have something called a Grow app also, whereby any grower, any hobbyist whoever grows, who would like to grow, could connect to that and understand how to grow, how to do the sapling, sowing, etc. And then he could also connect to one of our agronomists live, so that if he has any questions, any queries, that could be answered on the spot. So, and this all big data, what happens is you have productivity, you have cost of production, you are trying to get everything AI, everything done, but ultimately it comes to health and safety of the food, the nutritious aspect. We have grown very good food, we have put nutrition into it, but we would like to cater this to the guy who needs it. So what I was trying to say in my earlier stint also is that you need to have a data of all these people, all these inmates living in that particular area, to understand what are their deficiencies. Okay, what is the population of women in that, what is the population of lactating mothers in that community. So based on that, you need to make your food. I'm talking of a smart city. Based on that, you need to make your food, you need to make your leafy greens or vegetables or crops, whatever, cater to that requirements. So that would be
Wow.
the best option for all of us to go ahead. Yeah, there are people working for AI and IoT and imaging and big data and all sorts of things. But this, as a grower, I would like to get that data, and then I would like to implement that for growing that particular crop to feed that particular person, to fight his inabilities or to fight his incapacities to a certain extent.
Wow.
Just reducing synthetic medicines, swallowing synthetic medicines. Basically, that's the idea.
Thanks. I think you are fantastic in the area where you actually want to grow food to address the efficiency, the health, the body. I think it's amazing. Okay. I like the idea. In fact, there's a lot of talk about how to grow healthy food for the body. And of course, the conversation about hydroponics or soy based, which is more healthy vegetable, is another conversation we can take some other time. But
Yeah, I would
quickly,
like.
because of COVID, how does it impact your business? A very quick answer. Because of COVID this season, all of us in this farming community, in our business, is it good or is it bad or what is because of COVID-19? Does it give you more opportunity or create more problem for you to
Yeah,
round up?
yeah. It's like, let me put it this way: the COVID is a blessing in disguise for us, and it's they have recognized us as growers now. So they know, like, they haven't run to any other place. First of all, when there was this lockdown announced, they run to the shop to buy food. So there it plays a very major role. The number one. Number two is, like, because of food security and food insecurity, basically people started growing their own food or trying to understand how to do this. And there is a lot of, as Dr. Praveen was saying, there was a lot of investments from the real estate sector or from the apparel sector or from any other sector coming into the food sector, coming into agribusiness. So even though it was slow, because in the beginning people were a little hesitant to do that, but as of now, there are lots of people who would be thinking of investing in farming, investing in high tech farming. The corporates I'm talking of. When the corporates do come in, it's only then that you have this IoT and AI and enabled things could be working out better, because they are a corporate. And the farmers has been recognized because of COVID, and we're happy for that.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you, panelists. Thank you so much for. There was a question, okay, of a app, Bhaskar. How do we get connected to this app that Mr. Bhaskar is talking about?
Regarding the app,
Yes.
you can go to our website, and you would be getting the links for that app.
Is regarding what kind of mineral deficiency, because I think it's linked to your food conversation. that you can grow your food towards meeting needs of the body?
Yeah, basically it's like for anemia or for calcium deficiency. You see, when we talk of lactating mothers and expecting mothers, there is always a shortfall of iron, and there should be an increase of calcium. So maybe we could think of those crops which give you high iron in your feed, daily feed, or maybe high calcium in your daily feed. So those crops could be targeted to those areas whereby these crops could help them in getting better results for their health. Also maybe it could be fortified. We are tying up with universities here in Sharjah, with BITS Pilani and other universities also, to study by enhancing some sort of mineral nutrient into the crop, especially leafy greens. So we are on the study in the lab. So that could help us in understanding exactly how do we fortify the leaf with extra iron or extra calcium that could help such people who are having shortage deficiencies.
Okay, I'll read for you. Mr. Bhaskar, can all lactose intolerant people grow certain crop only? Lactose intolerant.
See, basically, we are initial stages. We are doing only the study of nutrients. Okay, so we are not going into allergens as of now. So once we finish up this nutrient side, then we think of allergens like lactose intolerance or peanut pea intolerance and all that. So we have not reached that stage. We are still in the budding stage. We are sticking to especially calcium and iron.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, there's another question. I'm trying to understand it, but maybe you can make better understanding of this. Uh, this is for you, Mr. Bhaskar. How
Yeah.
do you make sure that the nutrient deficiency are taken care of before any visible sign of deficiency is apparent?
See,
It's
plant.
preventive, I suppose.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
preventive.
yeah. I think the answer is this. Like maybe I understood the question right. The plants always show a deficiency of nutrients if you have a problem with your fertigation system. The plants will show the nutrition deficiency as a symptom, and it tells you that this is the nutrition deficiency with them. But to rectify it, even before the plant shows the symptom, is you need to check your drainage. The drainage water, whatever comes out from after passing through your hydroponic growing system, has to be ascertained, has to be studied individually. It should be studied for its nutrients. So if that is done, then you can prevent these deficiencies before it comes to the plant, because most of the plants have imbalance. They may not be able to grow. They may not be able to grow because they may have a few nutrition imbalances. So when you check drainage, then you understand that what is short or what is excess. So whether it is a deficiency or an excess could be studied from the sample analysis of the drainage water. Okay, people always do go in for pH and EC testing of the drainage water, but I just met across a gentleman just some time back. They are trying to do the nutrient analysis on the farm, not to go to a lab. You can just bring the nutrient solution and dip whatever the probe and check for all the nutrients, NPK and secondary and also micronutrients. So that would be the best solution. But to that is a distant away. So to avoid that, you need to have your proper recipe in the system.
Okay, thank you. Now, this is a very interesting one, even for myself. Is there any research you carry out, okay, on growing medicinal herbs in hydroponics? Will hydroponically grown produce have same essential oil component as grown in soil?
Yeah,
You got the
hydroponically
question?
grown. Yes, yes, got it. Hydroponically grown
Yeah.
produce has abundant, or what you call exactly what the plant needs. We are feeding it exactly what it needs. So the aroma or whatever content it is there for its herb, medicinal herb purposes, is always there in abundance, because you are doing it in controlled environment agriculture. If you're doing it in indoor vertical farms like the one behind me, you don't have transpiration losses, so the aroma is inside the plant. Okay, everything is there within. So There are trials for lots of plants, especially edible herbs, but medicinal edible herbs are also being tried, but not commercially proven, because once you're doing that, you need to have a proper buyer for that, and once the buyer is there, you need to have it scaled up to a huge level. So experimental purpose, yes, it is done, but you should have huge volumes of that produce to supply it to the pharmaceutical industry. So it is there, and it gives you the best results.
Okay, okay, okay. There are a lot other. It's a bit scientific, but okay, let's try this one. In hydroponics, we are using defined medium. Soil is a storehouse of lots of microorganisms and may be undiscovered inorganic material for plant growth. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering that people consuming only hydroponically grown food, okay, the question jumps, sorry, grown food in soil. So basically, they're just wondering whether is there any loss of nutrition by growing them differently.
Yeah. See, basically, the microorganisms, the good microorganisms that help in the plant growth, they help only the growth of the plant. They themselves are not in the plant. They help in aeration, they help in nitrogen fixing, they help in some sort of system, some sort of procedures, but they themselves are not in the plant. So the plant grows healthy because of all these additional microorganism activities. But in hydroponics, what you do is they are tailor-made recipes. So the plant, what happens in this organic is that you need nitrogen. So the source of nitrogen could be an organic matter, okay? But the plant understands nitrogen in its nitrate forms. So it could be either from a synthetic source or it could be from an organic source. The plant takes it in the nitrate form. It will not take it in the farmyard manure or the compost form. So ultimately, the plant converts it into the nitrate form, and it's the nitrates and calciums and potassiums and all those that is there in the plant. So in hydroponics, these nutrients are in the exact levels that is required for its growth and for us to consume it healthily. Otherwise, you will have high levels of heavy metals being deposited in such plants if you're growing it organic and not doing, I mean, organic or inorganic in the soil. You don't know what you're applying.
Okay, thanks. We are coming to 20 minutes of extension, and I don't want to take too much time for Mr. Bhaskar Rao. He has been on speaking for a long time. All right, I will take another one or two key questions, and the rest of you, if you need to connect with Mr. Bhaskar Rao, you can get his email. Bhaskar, would you like to kind of just key in your email into the feed so that someone can have your contact? One
Yeah,
last question, okay? Before you type your email, okay, why don't you type your email first, then I will ask you
yeah,
this question.
we are getting it done. My colleague is doing
Okay,
that.
can. Sure, thanks. Okay, is vanilla growing possible in hydroponics? Vanilla, I think they're referring to the vine,
Yeah, vanilla. I've not seen.
Okay, is vanilla growing possible in hydroponics? Vanilla, I think they're referring to the vine,
Yeah, vanilla. I've not seen any sort of research papers, any sort of thing that has come up so far. It is still maybe in the lab analysis stage. Sorry, I am not very much aware of that. Of course, you can do saffron in hydroponics in indoor vertical farms or controlled environment agriculture in hydroponics, but vanilla, not much I know about it. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. All right.